Good morning, everybody. It is feeling more like spring around here, and we are so excited. Everybody's chatting about dandelions right now, so I just wanted to give you a quick take on the dandelions on this 3.5 acres. So dandelions, as I'm sure all of you know, are not native, and they're very common in our lawns. Our lawns are made of mostly European grasses, and dandelions come from the same area. Our lawns also have, at least here, because we don't spray, all kinds of native plants like avens and violets. So check out here. This is the north side of our house. This is the area we keep the most mowed, and you can see it's peppered with dandelions. And then if you look past the dandelions, you'll see our more open meadow. And remember, I don't call it a prairie because it's not prairie plants per se. These aren't prairie soils right here, so this is just an area we keep open for sun-loving plants. And they're not happening yet, are they? We're still seeing mostly the stalks from last year. And we leave those stalks because it provides great nesting cover, spider shelters, perches for the birds to glean insects and to look down onto the earth to glean insects from. And the dandelions are blooming right now. They do offer some resources for insects. And yes, they offer some for honeybees as well. We don't keep honeybees here. They're also not a native. A lot of people use honeybees. Steve and I prefer maple syrup, and we know the impacts of honeybees on our native bee species, so we decided not to do that here. Now you can see over here that white, that is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous flowering dogwood. I've been doing some videos on the species of plants that offer resources for the insects until the meadows start blooming, because that's not what it's all about, and you all know that. So it's a lot of trees and shrubs that offer the early floral resources. I'm going to turn around for just a minute. This one is almost done. It's gooseberry, and it's prickly, and it's oh so gorgeous, and the bumblebees love it. It has created such a thicket here with this old fence and with some grapevine and Virginia creeper, and up there is spice bush. We usually always get a cardinal nesting in here because of the density, and that is fantastic. That's why we're doing this. And there's the road, and then that one right there blooming is black chokeberry. So our take on this whole dandelion topic is, who cares in the lawn? They actually offer a lot of goodness. We've seen American goldfinches and chipping sparrows feasting on the seeds. Our whole lawn area is European, and so the finches, the chipping sparrows, as I just said, they benefit. All kinds of insects benefit. They're little bulbs of sunshine in our yard. And so I actually look at people's lawns to see if they have dandelions and violets and avens and fleabanes, because that tells me if they're spraying or not. And that is important in this world. Now, do we recommend eradicating all the dandelions? No. They're just not a competitive species. They don't hurt the earth in any sort of way. So you can see that there's some out there in our meadow area, just on the edges where they get enough sun, and they grow there in harmony with everybody else. Am I saying you should only have dandelions? Definitely not. Native plants, you gotta have them so that the ecological balance that has worked out over so very long in the history of this planet can work and function. You have to have them there. We are having all kinds of migratory birds here right now. It's so exciting. And that's because there are the native plants. And primarily at this time, it's the woodies. They're on the woodies gleaning for different types of caterpillars and insects. And so right now, this might not be the most charming time of year in those meadows, but it's just part of the way it functions. So I find beauty in all of the life that uses these spaces, and that's really how we have to look at them. And so if you turn this way, it's a really nice view up the mowed area with the dandelions and the violets, and then you can see the big red maple out front and the gooseberry underneath. So in essence, I think leaving the dandelions is fine. Plant the native plants, absolutely, and think in layers. Your forbs, your shrubs, your trees. But don't worry about these dandelions. They're not going to hurt anything. And they are offering resources, so that's pretty cool. Also, dandelions are great food for humans. Steve and I love to eat sauteed greens, and dandelions when they're young are so delicious. We just saute them in a pan with a little olive oil, maybe a little salt, and they're primo. And they grow for free all over. We don't have to spend time cultivating them. I know a lot of people eat the dandelion blossoms, they fry them, they eat them. We haven't done that. And other people make dandelion wine. We don't do that, but I'm so grateful for the greens that grow so easily. We've worked hard over the years to grow greens, and the brassicas, as many of you know, you really have to cover and tend, and they're so delicious. But the cabbage white caterpillars adore them too, and it's just easier to not fight so often in so many different areas. So dandelion greens are something that we are really grateful for.